Hello, everyone. Let's get started with lesson one, and this will cover the basics of English language. Whenever we speak a language, we frame sentences to express ourselves or to convey our ideas and thoughts to ensure that we are rightly understood. These words are used in groups. For example, Alice kicked the football hard. What did Alice do? Kick the football. Who kicked the football? Alice. So I have a clear subject and I also know what that subject is doing. So these group of words make complete sense and this sentence is definitely meaningful. We can make different kinds of sentences depending on our requirement and what we want to say and how we want to present it. We can make statements like Tom sat on the front bench. This sentence has a clear subject, Tom, and what is he doing? So probably it's reported by a third person who's talking about Tom and his action. We may ask questions. Where do you work? What do you do? Or we may express a command. Be quiet. Or make a request. Have mercy upon us. We may make a sentence to express strong feeling or emotion. How blue the sky is. What a disgrace. What a shame. So therefore, these sentences which make questions, command, request, emotions do not have a clear subject as you can see in a statement. These are the sentences which are reported in exact or actual words as quoted by the speaker. That is called direct speech. So we'll study about direct and indirect speech further in the lesson. Let's try to understand first the structure of a sentence. What is a sentence made of? It is made of a subject, who is doing the action, and the rest of the sentence is called a predicate. For example, John got hurt in the leg. John is the subject, he's the doer of the action. Got hurt in the leg is called the predicate. Normally, the subject of a sentence comes first, but occasionally it is put after the predicate. For example, here comes the bus. Sweet are the uses of adversity. Here, the predicate bus and adversity comes at the end of the sentence. What is direct and indirect speech? We may quote the exact or actual words of the speaker in a sentence. That is called direct speech. For example, somebody must have said long time back that I love dancing. And if you're trying to report the exact words of the third person, you will use the exact words even after few months in direct speech. She said, I love dancing. But if you report what is said without quoting the exact words, it is called indirect or reported speech. For example, the child said, I love sweets. When you change to indirect, you will have to make certain changes. You will have to change said to told. And when you are changing direct to indirect, you will have to add a conjunction that which is normally omitted in the spoken English. You will have to change the pronoun I to he or she and change the present tense love to past tense loved because this action happened in the past. These words were quoted in the past. So the indirect speech of this particular sentence is the child told that he or she loved sweets. Let's take up a couple of more examples. He says, I'm glad to be here this evening. Now, these words are about some incident in the past. Therefore, we will have to change the tense and make few other changes as we change this sentence from direct to indirect speech. He says that I was glad to be there that evening. Am will change to was. Here will change to there. This will change to that. But if your words are about some universal truth which will never change, which would remain the same in future, in present, and in the past, then you will not change the tense. For example, the teacher said, the sun rises in the east. When you change to indirect, the teacher told that the sun rises in the east. The tense will not change because it will remain true forever. Few other words which express the change in time or place as you change from direct to indirect speech are now becomes then, here becomes there, ago becomes before, thus becomes so, today becomes that day, tomorrow becomes the next day, yesterday becomes the day before, last night becomes the night before. So these changes are used in the sentence with the past tense in indirect speech, whereas in the direct speech they are quoted in the present tense just the same way they were quoted maybe months back or years back. So I hope this lesson was useful and you got your concepts on the basics of a sentence and direct and indirect speech. We have much more to learn in the further lessons. Happy learning.